Good morning, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First step, police arrest man they say broke into Concord home, assaulted child. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9.
Oh, you don't look so hot. Rough night? Ugh. Oh, well, actually, that's the problem. You're on antibiotics. Antibiotics can kill the good bacteria as well as the bad, and that's bad news for your tummy, unless you use Florastor. Unlike many other probiotics, it's naturally resistant to antibiotics and protects the good bacteria in your body. So, take some Florastor. Doctors, well, my orders. Be biotic and drink plenty of fluids.
So you can't imagine anyone who's more of a danger to the community than Miles Anderson.
28-year-old Miles Anderson faces a total of 5 charges that include burglary, sexual assault, and indecent exposure.
Defendants alleged to have entered a house in the middle of the night, complete strangers, entered a 13-year-old's bedroom, exposing himself.
Probably the worst case scenario as a parent you can imagine happening, to be woken up that a stranger is in your home attempting to assault your child.
Police say they think Anderson chose the home on Jackson Street at random. They believe he may have entered through an unlocked door and found the youngster's bedroom.
The suspect, Mr. Anderson, took his clothing off and began to attempt to assault the victim. The victim awoke, was able to escape from the room and alert their parents.
Court records say the child used an iPad to shine a light on Anderson's face. Police say the teen's father grabbed Anderson and was able to hold him until police arrived. In court today, Anderson's lawyer questioned his competency. Anderson's bail was set at $100,000 cash only. Reporting live in Concord, I'm Andy Hirschberger, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Thieves smash dozens of car windows in Milton. Let's take a listen to the video from WCVB Boston.
Along Governor's Road, the telltale signs of the thief's crime spree.
They just broke that window clean through. Yeah.
A plastic sheet covering the passenger side window of Amy Robinson's black Mazda wagon.
They clearly knew what they were doing and what they were after, and they had a window and they went for it.
A weather window. Using Saturday night's snowstorm as cover, the thieves went on a smash and grab bender. And like with this BMW, the clever crooks never opened any car doors that would trigger an alarm.
We heard that they had some sort of device that allowed them to break the window without anybody hearing it. So we don't really have any reference of like what time on Saturday it might have happened.
Stealing items ranging from loose change and cell phones to ski equipment. Cutting a wide swath through town, hitting over a dozen cars along 8 streets, a 2-mile stretch of shattered glass. On Carey Street, residents are taking precautions.
Well, I put more lights on. I put lights on in the backyard because the cars are parked in the back opposed to out front. I don't even know where the car was smashed in.
Nothing of great value stolen, but lots of property damage and insurance headaches.
We have the guy coming tomorrow to fix the window, so we'll see how much it costs in the end.
Police here telling us this is a very active investigation and that in just 3 days they have developed several positive leads. Live in Milton, Jorge Quiroga, WCBB News 5.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. ruling in Joyce McClain cold case due Thursday. Let's take a listen to the video from WMTW News 8 Maine.
My life took a turn when I collapsed at home in Saco with a rare heart problem. I was given a 10% chance of survival. I was only 28 years old. I lived because Southern Maine Healthcare and Maine Medical Center work closely together. SMHC's emergency
Defense has rested in the trial of Philip Fournier. Fournier is accused of killing 16-year-old Joyce McClain back in 1980. He did not testify in court yesterday. The defense called several members of law enforcement to the stand. A man who was an East Millinocket police officer at the time of the murder testifying that state police had to take over because his department did not have enough resources. Closing arguments are set for Monday.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Final version of merge Pacific trade deal dumps rules the U.S. wanted. The final version of a landmark deal aimed at cutting trade barriers in some of the Asia-Pacific fastest growing economics was released on Wednesday. Signaling the pact was a step closer to reality, even without a star member of the United States. Trump tweet not necessarily linking shooting to Russia investigation. Sanders. Let's take a listen to the video from ABC News.
Now to President Trump unleashing a new attack on the FBI. In a barrage of tweets, the president bashing the FBI for missing the warning signs about Nicholas Cruz. The agency had received a tip 6 weeks before the shooting, and now President Trump facing backlash for using that massacre to criticize the FBI over the Russia investigation. Here's ABC's Kenneth Moten.
Tonight, a firestorm is erupting over President Trump's tweet connecting one of the deadliest mass school shootings in history to the FBI's Russia investigation. Trump tweeting, "Very sad that the FBI missed all of the many signals sent out by the Florida school shooter. This is not acceptable. They are spending too much time trying to prove Russian collusion with the Trump campaign. There is no collusion."
The president should be staying out of law enforcement business.
Members of Trump's own party say his tweet went too far.
So many folks in the FBI are doing all that they can to keep us safe. The reality of it is that they are two separate issues.
Trump's Twitter barrage was just beginning. He took another swipe at the special counsel's investigation after Friday's indictment of 13 Russians for interference in the 2016 election. Tweeting, "If it was the goal of Russia to create discord, disruption, and chaos within the U.S., they have succeeded beyond their wildest dreams. They are laughing their asses off in Moscow." Trump has previously dismissed the Russia investigation.
There has been no collusion. Call it the Russian hoax. The entire thing has been a witch hunt.
And he's been hesitant to enforce sanctions on Russia for cyber meddling.
It could be Russia, but it could also be China. It could also be lots of other people. It also could be somebody sitting on their bed that weighs 400 pounds, okay?
But now Trump conceding, "I never said Russia did not meddle. The Russia hoax was that the Trump campaign colluded with Russia. It never did."
With the FBI indictment, the evidence is now really incontrovertible.
The president even calling out his own national security advisor for that comment on Russian meddling, saying General McMaster forgot to say that the results of the 2016 election were not impacted or changed by the Russians.
Kenneth is in West Palm Beach with the president tonight. And Kenneth, the president's tweets are clearly emphatic about the claim there was no collusion between the Russians and his campaign. But lawmakers on both sides say he should be more focused on cracking down on Russian election meddling.
That's right, Tom. It's been a bipartisan course since the latest indictment from the special counsel. Republicans and Democrats in Congress are calling on President Trump to listen to the intelligence community, acknowledge Russian meddling, and also to take action in the form of tougher sanctions. Tom?
Kenneth, thank you.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. Goodbye, everyone.